Hi golfers, Nick here from GOLFTEC Singapore. It's Friday, so welcome to another lesson on golf tips. This week on Golf Tips, we're going to continue to take a look at the swing true motion studies that have been conducted by GOLFTEC over the years. So using the 3D motion, I'm going to explain to you how the tour players move. We've also measured what the high handicappers do, and we've colour coded them. So we have red, green, yellow and blue. So to give you guys a bit of an idea, this study is actually going to be on red and green. Green is what tour players do, red is what the highest handicappers do. So to give you guys a little bit of an idea. So this is my golfer. If every number we had on the 3D motion was green, the swing path would be slightly from in to out. If everything was red, the swing path would be the most from out to in. So that would give you pulls and slices. If everything was blue, that would give you the most in to out. And there's also yellow as well, which would be slightly from out to in. So today we're going to take a look at how the tour players move, how the high handicappers move, and we're going to work out what the difference is to help you guys measure your golf swing. So for this video I'm going to hit two shots. I've got the 3D motion sensors on. The first one's sort of going to be like my normal golf swing, try and swing as close to green as possible, and the second one will be the most exaggerated, try and swing the most like the highest handicappers do to get into the red. So the first one will be green. Okay, so that's my green swing, pretty good shot. So you can see there a little bit of a sort of a push draw. It's going to pitch around 170, maybe just under. So pretty good shot. Let's move on now and test out red. So my first swing there for green was pretty good. You saw the shot there, a little bit of a push draw. So now for red, this is what the high handicappers do. So they have less turn in the backswing. They tend to sway off the golf ball. In the finish, they tend to keep their weight back, and their paths tend to swing from out to in. So I'm going to try and replicate that as best I can. So as I set up here, I'm actually just opening up my body, so my shoulders and my hips. And then for the backswing, I'm going to sort of sway off the golf ball and try and keep my weight on my back leg as I go through it. So you see the ball fly on the screen there. So there's a little bit of a slice, if you like, left to right, more of a fade, pitched around 100 yards. Let's sit down now and take a look at those two golf swings. So you saw the two shots there, tried to do that as fair as possible. On the left hand screen there, I've got the green attempt, and on the right, I've got the red. So the red one would give me the most out to in swing path, and the green would give me slightly from in to out, which would be sort of along with the tour average. So we measured the golf swing in 9 different positions. This is position 1. On the left hand side of the screen, you can see I've got the hip numbers, and across the top I've got the shoulder numbers. So I'll give you guys a little bit of an idea as I set up to the golf ball here. You can see my shoulder turn for green is 7 open and my hip turn's 5 open. They're within what the tour average would be. For red, you can see I'm setting up really open with my shoulders and my hips, so you can see that they've gone into a red number. Now, as I swing back, position 2 is when the shaft's parallel. So you can see at this stage here, you can see the main differences here are probably in the rotations and where the club is. So you can see I've turned 46 degrees closed for green compared to 22 for red, and then the hip turn is 23 green and 1 degree for red. So you can see that the more you turn, the easier it is to bring these hands inwards. As we get to 3, which is left arm parallel, again you can see how hip turn is only at 20 for red compared to 42 for green. As we get to the top of the backswing, you'll see how my shoulder turn is at 89 for green and 44 for hips, whereas for the red numbers it's only 22 for the hips and 70 for the shoulders. So again, both red numbers there. So it's very difficult to get all of these perfectly green or red, but you'll start to see that the green ones, we have a couple of blue ones, and with the red numbers we have a couple of yellow ones. If you remember earlier, yellow is slightly out to in and blue would be the most in to out. As we swing down, we get down to position 5, which is when the left arm is parallel. So the sort of differences you would see here would be, again, in the turns of the body. You can see that my shoulder turn is slightly more closed for green, and you'll see how the shaft position is different as well. So you'll see for green, my shaft here is going through sort of the middle of my bicep as opposed to through the top of the shoulder. Also for red, you can see how my left arm is more outwards at this point. So basically, as you swing down, the more you turn, the more the swing will sort of come outside to in. So as we get down to sort of shaft parallel position here, you can see on the screen here, the turns of the body are very different. So shoulder turn for green is 9 degrees closed compared to 11 degrees open for red. And then for the hip turn, you can see I'm turning my hips more for red as well. This sort of brings that club path more outside to in. Then we come down to the impact position here. We call this position 7. When just as I've struck the golf ball, again, you'll see how for the red on the right hand screen, my sways are away, so my weight staying on the back foot. I'm also turning more at this point, again brings the swing path more across the ball. As we go through into the follow through here, you'll see again some red numbers for the sways, and then as we get into the finish position, you'll see how in the finish here for the red swing, you can see how I've got a lot of my weight on my back leg, and also I've turned a lot as well. So I think that's another quite key point there. A lot of these golfers think you have to turn to create power. It's really not necessarily true. The more you turn, the more the swing path comes out. And I think the sway numbers are very important to help with keeping the swing path more inwards, and also to help control sort of the low point and the contact. So we're going to switch this round, take a look at the face on view. I've just switched it round to face on. I'm going to leave the numbers on the screen, but also this time I've just put a circle around the head, a line on the back hip. So we're going to take a look at using those lines as a reference point. So as I take the swing back, you see for red how I sway my body to the right, whereas for green I stay more centered. That helps obviously with controlling the low point of the swing. It also helps me rotate as well. It helps me bring my left arm round. The more I sway to the right, the harder it is to bring my arm round. And I see a lot of golfers that sway, they sort of then end up sort of flexing the arms to bring the club round, which affects the contact and the low point. Also, another thing to note here is that the more I stay on my right hand side as I come down, the more the swing path will come from out to in and obviously move the low point back. So have a look at the impact position there. You can see for the green one there, I'm moving more onto my left side. My head's in that circle still, so I'm keeping very centered. Whereas for the red one there, my weight's further back than where it started, where we've got those two sway numbers at red. And then into the finish, you can see I sort of spun out of the shot, kept my weight back for red, whereas green I've moved more forward. So for green, you're going to create more of an inside swing path and going to make better contact. So if you see anything in your swing is very similar to red, then that's something you need to sort of focus on. So at GOLFTEC here, we use these sensors in each lesson to measure these 9 different positions to help golfers be aware and look at the things that they need to work on to improve your golf. So golfers, any comments on that, post them in the box below. If you don't already, please follow me on my other social media platforms, and we'll see you again soon for another video on golf tips. The most